Hi, welcome to another adventure at Weaver Stonehouse Farm. I'm Jess from Weaver Stonehouse Farm, and today we are rendering our beef fat down into tallow. We just picked up our steer from the butcher, and I asked for the fat this time, and our butcher was awesome, and I got a big bag full of beef fat, big chunks.
How much was it? It was like
50 pounds.
of fat.
Flash was a pretty big guy, so he was a little chunky. So we don't want anything to go to waste. We're trying to use everything we can from this animal. So part of that is rendering the fat. Now, I've done pork lard before, but this is my first time working with the tallow. Now you might ask, why? That's a really big question. Why would you want to do this? Because I'm greasy, I'm gross. This is only like 1/5 of that box of fat downstairs in the fridge. The why is because this is a healthy cooking fat. It's not a refined oil, it's not a seed oil. A lot of those oils that you're using for cooking aren't the greatest for your body. So we can use this for frying food, we can use it for cooking, we can use it on your cast iron skillets. And the tallow is also very good for your skin. You can make it into a balm, you can make it into like a hand cream almost. It's good for eczema, it's good for all kinds of skin ailments. So we are gonna go ahead and render our tallow. Our first step is taking these big chunks and we're gonna cut off any meaty portion.
We feed that to the dog. That'll make him happy.
That goes to the dog.
Perfect.
I have a, yes. And we're gonna chunk it up. Now, the smaller you chunk it, the more lard you're gonna get out of it. So, or the more tallow you're gonna get out of it. I'm not really worried about our yield because I have 50 pounds of this fat. So I'm gonna get a ton of tallow. So I'm just gonna do, I'd say medium chunks. You can also run it through a grinder. I saw people running it through their food processor, which I think would make a big mess. We might try to run through
because
some
it's really
meat
greasy.
grinder.
Yeah.
It is very greasy.
Because it's
My
fat.
hands are like gonna be amazingly moisturized though. Well, okay, so once you get it chunked up, I'm throwing it into my big roaster. Now, some people put a little bit of water in the bottom to start it cooking. I'm just throwing the tallow in, and I'm gonna set it around 300 once I get it full. And about every half an hour to an hour, I will come through and I will stir it up as it starts to, cook the fat out and liquefy. So our beef fat has been cooking for about half an hour now, and as you can see, the pieces on the edge where the heat is have started to turn a bit. So we're going to stir it up and bring those towards the center, scraping the bottom, scraping the sides, because we don't want anything to burn. We'll come back and check this again in a little bit and see how it's doing. So this is the batch that's in the crock pot. We added about a quart of water and a couple tablespoons of salt because we're going to try to get this batch more refined to use like a skincare and tallow balm and things like that. So this is in the crock pot on low. So we're doing it at a lower temperature, so it's going to take a little bit longer to get going. So my beef fat has been cooking for about 5 or 6 hours now. I had it around 300 degrees, so it's a little bit quicker than the crock pot method. And it's starting to change color. So I'm just gonna start ladling it out, letting it drain off. And I'm gonna put this into a different pan, and then I'm gonna see if I can render it down with a little bit of water to get every little bit out of it while preserving the color of what's in the roaster. So once I get the big chunks pulled out, I will strain this and I will put it into foil pans to let it harden. Okay, so I wanted to show you the difference from the color whenever it is still liquid to what happens once it goes, it solidifies. So this is a batch that I drew off this morning. You can see from the film on it, it is starting to solidify. Now this, I had it outside sitting, and it is a nice creamy white. So I'm going to go ahead and unmold this and see what we're dealing with. Can you hold that for me? Okay. So this is the batch from the roaster without the water in it. Now, I didn't love how I need to strain it better. I didn't have quite the right strainer, but look at that. So I could go ahead and I could scrape all these bits on the bottom off, or I can go ahead and melt it and strain it through a finer strainer or cheesecloth. But so this is our first, you know, this is our first tallow, so that's pretty awesome. So thanks for watching, and be sure to like and subscribe to see our next video where we go ahead and we refine our tallow and we package it up for longer term use. Also, look for a short video coming out soon about the differences between this tallow that we made and the tallow that we're going to make from the leaf fat that we're going to use more for skincare.